What's going on, guys? I'm Exotic Gaming. Welcome back to some more Call of Duty Mobile. In today's video, I'm going to share with you all 10 different things that you may have never known about Call of Duty Mobile. Like, for example, did you know people were chilling playing this game all the way back in 2018? There was a closed alpha that came out in Australia that only a few people got to play in 2018, and here I am thinking that this game first came out in beta in May of 2019. But no, people were playing 6 months earlier. That's crazy to me. But anyways, yeah, I recognize that there's a lot of people that know a lot about this game that are going to be watching this video. You know, real OG players who played before Season 1 in 2019. So there may be a couple of things that you already knew. But my hope is at least a couple of the things that I mentioned in this video are new news to you. And if that's the case, then I would say it's a successful video, and I hope you guys would say the same. I hope that's worthy of a like rating and a subscribe from you guys that are watching this video. Take a second and do that because so many people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. It really helps me out a lot and allows me to continue making awesome content like this. Anyways, we're taking too much time. Big shout out to @DarkMGFX on Twitter. He's a graphics designer, and if you need some help with your thumbnails, he might be the man that you want to contact. He helped me create this list, so massive shout out to him. I'll put his channel link and his Twitter down below in the description. Anyways, with that being said, let's get into this. So starting things off, Candy Crush anyone? No, I mean like Candy Crush Call of Duty anyone? What? That doesn't make any sense. Well, actually, that sorta does. Back in 2015, Activision bought King, which we know as the company that created the mega successful Candy Crush game. And believe it or not, this was actually a strategic move because they legitimately thought they were going to hire King to make an early version of Call of Duty Mobile. What? Yeah, COD Mobile was literally going to be developed all the way back in 2015, and the only reason why it never came to fruition was because they couldn't find the right developers for the job. But I bet you didn't know that. We literally could have had Call of Duty Mobile all the way back in like 2015 to 2017, and if that's not the craziest thing in the entire world, I don't know what is. You know how like Candy Crush is every 40-year-old mom's favorite video game? Could you imagine if COD Mobile was just filled with those types of people in the voice chat? That would have been the funniest thing ever. Oh, God. Kind of happy that didn't end up happening. Next up, we all know the guns change with the seasons. They're like little ducklings who are born in the springtime. They grow up, and by fall, they migrate south for the winter. In the early days of Call of Duty Mobile, the meta weapons were vastly different from the weapons that we know as the meta today. I hear a lot of people telling me that the QQ9 is a really good gun, for example, now, but that wasn't the case back then. The MSMC, S36, Type 25, and the AK-117 were some of the best guns you could use back then. The MSMC had little to no recoil, believe it or not. The AK-117 and Type 25 were pretty much your ultimate all-around guns. And the S36 was a literal laser that everybody would use to camp back in the day. It was insane, and I sort of wish I could go back to relive those days. But hey, you know what? Cherish the past, and we can continue on. Did you know, back in the day, that the trophy system was completely broken? We all know what it was designed to do. You basically put it down, and it's sort of like a force field that blocks you from different types of explosions, like grenades and other stuff, right? Well, however, back in the day when it first came out, it did not work exactly as intended. I don't know how this slipped by the developer's radar, but in the first update when this thing came out, it was literally completely broken, dude. It didn't give you the amount of force field at all. And only the OG players remember how useless the trophy system was when it first came out. It's funny to look back on, because I guarantee a mistake like this will happen in the future. Mark my words. Alright, continuing on, we gotta talk about something that I actually mentioned in an earlier video a couple of days ago. People who subscribe to me who watched that video probably already know this, but for the people who didn't see that video, did you know that there's an entire game out there that's basically the grandfather of Call of Duty Mobile? Yes, back in 2014, a game came out in China called Call of Duty Online, and almost no one outside of China ever played it. I won't get into the story of how difficult it was to actually play the game because you like literally had to take some random Chinese person's identity to play the game, but the game has tons of the same features COD Mobile has right now. It was free to play, incorporated features from all of the past Call of Duty games into one single game, had unique skins, crazy game modes, and basically everything people were wanting in a Call of Duty game. I'm going to link my video that I made on this a couple of days ago down below in the description, but it was truly one of the greatest Call of Duty games of all time, and it sets the stage for the development of a free-to-play mobile Call of Duty game that incorporated features from all of the other COD games of the past. Bet you didn't know that. Next up, let's talk about the Death Machine. Who's used this thing before? Probably a lot of us, right? If you haven't, it's just an operator skill that's basically a cool handheld minigun. I said little handheld minigun, but it's actually massive, but you can use it in multiplayer and zombies back when that was a thing. However, something most players probably don't remember is the fact that the Death Machine wasn't always called the Death Machine. As a matter of fact, for some weird reason, it was actually called the Scythe. And then randomly, without warning, they just changed it one day very early on. You can see this if you go on YouTube and search COD Mobile Death Machine Scythe. And you'll see old videos from people who have both names in the title. It's not even like older COD games even called it the Scythe either. They just called it the Death Machine too. So, how they got the name Scythe, who freaking knows? Something that might be a bit more well-known, but still may be overlooked by a lot of players, is the whole issue surrounding emulator players back in the day. Nowadays, you hear emulator player, and you're like, okay, so what? They play on an emulator on their computer against other emulator players. No big deal. But that wasn't always the case. In fact, in the early days of Call of Duty Mobile, before the official Game Loop emulator came out, if you played on an emulator, you literally went up against Android players. Now, you can imagine how much of an issue this caused. Mouse and keyboard players obviously had a huge advantage to thumb players, or maybe even multiple finger players. So, Activision eventually patched this issue with a system that can detect it if you're on an emulator now, and then just move you to emulator-only servers. If you do try to go up against Android players, you're probably just going to get banned now, so I definitely wouldn't want to take the risk, considering their anti-cheat is actually pretty good, as I tested out not too long ago. Anyways, let's forget about that. This is probably something that you didn't know before. Back before Call of Duty Mobile was even being developed by Timi Studios and Activision, Timi Studios didn't actually know if they were going to get the rights to be able to make this game. They made an early version of it, but since they didn't have the rights yet, they just decided to release a trailer of it all the way back in 2018. Here's a portion of it. So I actually had to remove the audio to this video and put a whole lot of cuts in it because I was afraid of getting a copyright strike, but, this looks a little bit familiar, doesn't it? These maps sure might ring a bell to us Call of Duty Mobile players. Funny thing is it literally looks like a rip-off Call of Duty game, but it's like actually the preliminary form of Call of Duty Mobile. Like, this is what Call of Duty Mobile was back in 2017, 2018. Now, well, you can see that this game is literally like an early stage of Call of Duty Mobile, but guess what? It wasn't actually called that. It was called Elite Squad, believe it or not. You can see the trailer for yourself right now. I'll put it in the description. But back in 2018, there was a real chance we could have had Elite Squad instead of Call of Duty Mobile. Moving right along, I'm pretty sure a vast majority of us have spent some amount of money on this game before. And if you're one of the few free-to-play players, dude, I have so much respect for you. You're awesome, and I'd love to hear how you've managed to do it over the years, because I am certainly not one of those people. Please let me know down below in the comments. But, hey, anyways, getting sidetracked. Nowadays, when you buy COD points, they follow the same predictable manner that other games do when they're selling stuff in-game. You get the least bang for your buck when you buy a small amount, like maybe $1, $5, and then you get a big discount if you were to buy $100 worth of points. However, back a long time ago, you'd actually get rewards for using a certain amount of COD points as well. If you spent, say, 5,000 COD points, the game would just give you cool skins and throwables and stuff for free, and they don't do that anymore. I wish they still did, but now they simply go the route of giving you exactly what you bought, and there are no incentives anymore. It's kind of sad, but hey, I guess that's pretty much what all the developers do anyways. Second to last, if you can believe it, back in the earlier days of Call of Duty Mobile, there was actually no horizontal recoil. Don't believe me? Well, literally just look at other people's videos from back in the day. The game only had vertical recoil, and it was a whole lot easier to control your weapons when you were using them. Nowadays, each gun has a slightly different recoil pattern, sort of like CSGO in a lot of respects, and it's always going to take some time to get used to. But back then, it was simple. I just find that absolutely insane because, like, you'd figure guns always had horizontal recoil, since there are literal attachments that you can put on in Gunsmith now that actually decrease or increase horizontal recoil. But nope, not back then. Pretty crazy if you ask me. And finally, at the very end of this all, let's talk about the years 2014 to 2018. The years before we had the ability to play Call of Duty Mobile on our phones. A lot of us loved the Call of Duty series, and we still wanted to have a similar experience playing on our phones. So we had to come up with the next best thing, and most people probably don't remember, but the OGs do, and we used to have to play a game called Modern Combat 5 Blackouts to get our mobile Call of Duty fix. The game was as close as you could get to a mobile Call of Duty game with amazing graphics, and my dude, it was just so much fun. It was really revolutionary for its time, and still to this day, I have a lot of positive thoughts about Modern Combat 5 Blackout. I literally did an entire 20-plus video series on my channel for that game back in the day, and it was so good. But please don't check those videos out because they're really cringy now. But yeah, who remembers that? The days when we played Modern Combat 5 instead of Call of Duty Mobile. Those were the simple times, man. Let me know in the comments if you did. Dude, imagine if I made Modern Combat 5 content again after, like, 2-3 years of no uploads. That would be kind of cool. That would be fun. I'd do that again. What would you guys say? Would you like to see more videos on Modern Combat 5? Maybe I could do, like, a proper comparison between Modern Combat 5 and Call of Duty Mobile. Old versus new. That would be pretty cool. Anyways, we're out of time, so I hope you guys did enjoy. As I said earlier on in this video, if you knew at least a couple of these things, then that's okay. If there were at least a few things that you did not know, then I would say it's a successful video. So please take a second and hit that like button and subscribe down below. Comment down below other things that you think a lot of players may have never realized about Call of Duty Mobile. I might be able to use them in future videos. With that being said, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all later.